Hi, I'm Adam Jameson,
And I'm Dan Perry.
and we're thinking about snacks. So the other day, Dan asked me a really simple question, but it got us thinking about some really serious stuff. It went something like this.
You want some fruit snacks?
What are fruit snacks?
Well, they're snacks that are fruit.
So they're fruit?
Well, no. They're fruit snacks.
What does that even mean?
It's complicated.
Fruit puree,
Grape,
peach,
orange,
strawberry,
raspberry,
corn syrup,
sugar,
modified cornstarch,
gelatin,
Concord grape juice from concentrate,
citric acid,
lactic acid,
natural and artificial flavors,
ascorbic acid, vitamin C,
alpha tocopherol acetate, vitamin E,
vitamin A palmitate,
sodium citrate,
coconut oil,
carnauba wax,
annatto, color,
turmeric, also for color.
red 40, and blue 1.
So that's what fruit snacks are.
That doesn't sound very fruity.
That's because corn is the second biggest ingredient in most fruit snacks.
So then fruit snacks are made of corn?
Yes. To find out not just how, but why corn is transformed into fruit snacks, we sat down with Marxist archaeologist Justin Uihlein, who focuses on food and diet in history.
One of the primary things that Justin made us realize was that corn is inherently a human-modified commodity that has been changed a lot through history to make it more suitable for mass consumption.
Corn is a derivative of a plant called teosinte that evolved in South America tens and tens of thousands of years ago, that was used by indigenous populations on that part of the continent for a long time. And over that time, through a Darwinian phase of evolution, corn became what we sort of what we think of it today. Much smaller stalks, much less yellow seeds. In fact, there was very little yellow on it originally. What we now think of as corn was a product of colonization. It was incorporated by the Spanish very early on, brought from South America by the Spanish to Africa, cropped in Africa. Seeds were brought back from Africa to South America and North America, grown here, and through a very long exchange of seeds over the Atlantic Ocean, we arrived at the yellow corn that we know of today. Corn without capitalism, without colonization, there wouldn't be corn that could do this.
According to the National Corn Growers Association, the United States produced 15.1 billion bushels of corn on 86.7 million acres of harvested land in 2016. Of this corn, 40%, or 5,600 million bushels, went to feed livestock. The next largest use was for fuel ethanol production, with 4,209 million bushels, or 30% of U.S. corn production, used to produce biofuels. Of the corn eaten by human beings, the vast majority went towards the production of high fructose corn syrup, with almost 500 million bushels used to produce the corn-based sugar substitute. 325 million bushels were used to produce other sweeteners, and 250 million bushels were used to produce corn starches. All three of those are important ingredients in fruit snacks.
So if that's the case, then how do we wind up with commercials like this?
Did you know that Kellogg's Disney Pixar Finding Nemo fruit snacks are made with 50% real fruit juice from concentrate? There's Crush and Dory, even old Bruce. They're made with 50% of the real fruit juice your kids love. Kellogg's Disney Pixar fruit snacks, 50% real fruit juice, 100% fun.
So this ad was created by Leo Burnett Canada for Kellogg's, and it came out around 2004 to accompany the Pixar film Finding Nemo. That would place it about 11 years before a class action lawsuit in which Welch's, the company whose fruit snack ingredients label we read earlier, was sued for misleading labels that said their product was, quote, made with real fruit.
Welch's can say that their fruit snacks are produced with real fruit so long as our legal system allows for them to say that their fruit snacks is whatever we legally classify as real fruit is what they're going to say they're putting in their food. So if they were regulated, and if that process was regulated, and we said, let's say you want to say your food's made with real fruit, it has to be 90 whatever percent real fruit. Mm-hmm. Right now, for something to be classified as organic, I think it has to be 97% organic. I think that's the legal standard right now. I could be wrong. What has to be, or the percentage for being classified as natural is much lower, which people don't know, right? So if something says natural on the box, people assume it's natural and they go get it.
When you're in the grocery store, most of the information about whatever you're about to buy comes from the packaging, and that is exactly what the lawsuit against Welch's Fruit Snacks centered around. An article in Fortune describes the position of the plaintiffs in the case, who basically alleged that the depiction of fruits on the packages of Welch's Fruit Snacks, when fruit is not the primary and sometimes not even the main ingredient, represents deceptive false advertising. For instance, the suit says the label and marketing of the Berries and Cherries fruit snacks depicts berries and cherries on the packaging, but the product itself contains neither berries nor cherries.
We asked Justin about the anthropological implications of fruit snack packages, and he told us that the packages, like everything else that we see, touch, and use throughout the day, are material culture.
Dr. Sophie Woodward, an anthropologist at the University of Manchester, defines material culture as objects, their properties, and the materials that they are made of, and the ways in which these material facets are central to an understanding of culture and social relations.
Through archaeology, Justin engages with material culture in its purest form.
We asked Justin how he would analyze a fruit snack wrapper if he pulled it out of the ground on an archaeological dig, like an artifact from some long-lost civilization.
Without any knowledge of what this is, based on just the artifact itself and my knowledge of archaeology, I would think that is an intuitive society that is very, very, very capable of producing. So that there's a clear language, assuming I don't understand it, is still profound. The ability to produce plastic is not really that new, but it's indicative of a kind of innovation that most societies historically have not have or had.
What would you say about that civilization's reliance on corn after saying you speak English in this hypothetical situation? What would you think about the reliance on corn that this past empire had?
I would say that it's one of the saddest things that's ever happened to this planet. This corn is no longer able to self-produce.
What do you mean?
The seeds produced by corn plants do not grow. Corn is only produced by genetic engineering. Corn is no longer capable of self-producing itself.
So in addition to finding out that fruit and fruit snacks are two totally unrelated products, we also found out that they're really unhealthy and also part of one of the most unsustainable food practices that we have today.
We conclude with a quote from the great Wendell Berry, which accurately describes the food system that produces fruit snacks. He writes, "The consumer eats worse, and the producer farms worse, and in their estrangement, waste is institutionalized.